Last session, the party traversed the Lumbridge Swamp path on your way to Father Ernie's. After a run-in with a giant frog and a quick rest, they found his home with him inside. It was discovered that he heard someone was looking for him in Draynor Village, not long before the grave robbing happened about a week and a half ago. But he decided to hide in his home and avoid that person, asking about the nearby villages and towns' histories. With an excitement, he offered you a amulet to help you speak with ghosts, as well as gave you a necklace of passage and a quick trip back to Lumbridge, not noticing that the twins had stolen a couple of books during the discussion. After using a teleport tablet, they all arrived back in Lumbridge, and that is where we left off. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we start, party?
Nope.
Nay.
Alright, let's continue the grind then. So you're back in Lumbridge. It's late afternoon. There are several people around, and they kind of jump back in surprise as the sudden arrival of the six of you appear at the gates of Lumbridge. And there are several guards that kind of step forward with hands on weapons, but they relax in a knowing way. It's kind of understood that there are several ways to teleport around Gielinor, and it's a fairly common occurrence, though it's pretty expensive to do, so most people just travel by regular means. Teleporting can also be pretty dangerous depending on where you're teleporting into. You don't know what you're going to arrive with, but this is the first time you all have done this, and it makes you feel kind of off-put and a little woozy and off balance. You notice that the castle courtyard is more full of camps, and the population has gone up over the morning and afternoon that you've been away. So, you arrive. What would you guys like to do?
We're at the front gates.
Yes.
It's Father Eric, correct?
Yeah.
Because we got Father Ernie with us, right? Or he did not come with us?
He did not come with you. He said he was too old to make the trek.
And he didn't want to be involved.
Correct.
Right.
I say we just go talk to the ghost.
I think Father Eric might be sus. I'm calling it out right now. Quote me on it. It seems like there's a lot of things at play here. And it revolves around Ernie and the undead.
Mm.
And it seems like Father Eric sent us to Ernie because he's like, he did it, you know? He had to have done it.
What do you think, Foz?
I mean, I think there could be something to it. I mean, it couldn't hurt just to have another conversation with them, right?
All right, how about this? You guys go talk to Father Eric. Yoshi, myself, and anyone else will go talk to the ghost. That way he's distracted. I just don't think he needs to know we have an amulet that will let us speak to the ghost.
Before you go, what would Father Eric stand to gain from being the one who's messing with the body and, if inadvertently, creating the ghost? What could that do for him?
I see there's a lot of people coming into town. He had a
Mhm.
lot of random people in his church. I just feel like he's got something planned because they're trying to bring the dead up, I think. They're trying to... Someone's got a plan for this big group of people coming into Lumbridge, I think.
There's evil afoot.
By the way, Fizora, you have this big square book under your robes. It's kind of uncomfortable and sticking out. And
Oh, yeah. I
Fubar,
forgot I had
you're
mine.
holding on to the other one kind of behind your back. And you
With
guys
my-
are kind of drawing some attention from the people that are walking in and out of the castle grounds. You're kind of standing in the intersection of the crossroad here discussing all of this.
Would I notice these books at this point, or no? Would Bundock notice?
If you're all standing in the circle kind of talking, you're going to notice Fubar is holding one. Maybe not Fizora. You're not intently looking her over, but I mean, Fubar's hanging onto a book that he wasn't holding onto before.
But I'm not even trying to hide it now that we're in town. Just holding it right out front.
Yeah, I'm taking mine out too, actually. And I hold it up in the air as like there's like a clearly people kind of looking at us. I go, yeah, it's a book. You guys ever seen one before?
Yeah.
Well,
But you guys can't read.
Well,
Yeah.
this isn't going to sit well with Bundock. He's going to notice and say, "Wait a second. Did you guys steal those
What?
from Father
No.
Ernie?
No. Why
No.
would we do that?
Where did they come from then? You didn't have them before."
We've
Well,
had them the whole time. Like I
well,
didn't remember getting pat down when we first met.
yeah, and also theoretically, I did leave some gold on the counter, so it's not theft. It's actually a transaction. If we were to have stolen these,
Yeah.
which we did.
Theoretically, Well,
Yeah.
What does theoretically leaving gold mean? Either you did or you didn't.
I mean, in theory, if we were to have taken these from somewhere, I would have, in theory, put gold in, in place of these books, but I didn't.
But we didn't have to because we had it the whole time.
Yes, because these are ours.
These are our books.
Question.
Yeah.
While this is going on, is there anybody like, because there's more people, right, walking by, and
Yeah. Yep.
is there anybody staring longer than they need to be?
Make a perception check.
That is a 15. I see everybody.
The town guard is
There's
watching you guys. They know you were on a mission, and you're kind of grouped in this like huddle, kind of discussing what to do and where to go. And they're watching you, but they're not like suspicious of anything. And there's people walking up and down the road that kind of give you a glance. You're an interesting looking group, especially with this large flaming mohawk, but nobody that's like staring you down or eavesdropping.
Or that's intrigued by this argument going on.
Yeah, not really. They're just people going about their day.
Can I read the cover of the book since I never really actually read it?
You can. It is in common. And it says regional artifacts, divine and otherwise.
I get the point Bundock was trying to get across was, it's not very knightly to steal things from people.
While they're arguing, I'm gonna meander into the graveyard.
Okay.
I will say, if you did say that out loud, I took a little psychic damage. That I might have felt that a tiny bit.
I didn't at all. I'm like, hey, I don't know who this dude is judging me. Don't care. And I walk right by him and just brush his shoulder with the book in my hand, and then I walk over to the church.
Solana notices that Fazor was affected by what he said, and turns to her and says, "This isn't the last time we'll see Father Ernie. You'll have an opportunity to rebalance the scales with him if you want it."
That's exactly I'm gonna give it back, and it'll be he's probably not even gonna be reading it in the next few weeks or days or however long it is, but it's just
He won't even know it's gone. Everything's fine. Don't feel bad. Think of it as like a library. You're gonna give it back.
yes, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah. See? Quit trying to make her feel bad.
And I didn't. If I had an opportunity, maybe I would have asked him, but it all happened so quickly, and then all of a sudden we're here. But point taken. Thank you.
Zora, you look down at the book cover and you flip open the cover and see the title page, and it reads Personal Notes of Jorel the Historian, Volume 3, The God Wars of the Third Age.
I want to just say I didn't go into the church yet. I walked over to the church. I don't think we should go in yet.
Okay, so Lug, you were heading into the graveyard while this book discussion was going on?
Yes.
Okay. So you're all standing in the circle, and Solana, you're reassuring Fazor that she'll be able to make amends and return these books at some point. As Lug, you all see, walks into the graveyard.
As he does that, I want to see when Lug goes in there. I'm going to tail back and like hang out like in this area just to watch people. I'm just gonna chill on the wall, dude.
Okay.
Smoke a cig.
Bundock, what should we be going in? We didn't really get a whole lot from Father Ernie. What do you think we should be saying to him?
I figured we'd just tell Father Eric that we found Father Ernie, and that he seemed like a odd
No.
but stand up fellow, and he gave us some ideas as to how to communicate with the ghost and to who might have took the skull. But he swore up and down, and as far as we could tell, he was being honest that he had no part in it.
Okay. I like that plan. Let's go see how he reacts.
Yeah.
So Fazora put the book away, right? As we were walking towards the church. I know you were looking at it.
Oh yeah. I wanted to hand my book to Solana.
To me?
Yep. And I'm gonna just give it to her, and I'm gonna say I really don't have a use for this. So here, you look like you'd get more use out of it than me.
Thank you.
You open the cover and you also look at the title page, and it is Personal Notes of Jorl the Historian, Volume 7, Relics and Their Regions. Cover is the regional artifacts, divine and otherwise.
Okay. I'm not worried about whether you stole it. I think
Oh,
we'll
me
all
either.
find out in time. We'll all find out what happened and what needs to be done about it. But I'm looking at the artifacts and I'm thinking, just like making a mental note to myself to think about Yoshi and the necklace that they have. And honestly, DM, do I have anywhere to put this book? Like, I don't think I do.
You're just holding it under your arm. That's
Yeah, I don't have a bag or anything. So yeah, I'll just like hold it. I'll follow them in.
okay. Lug, you make your way across this graveyard. There's a couple of people here and there visiting grave sites, placing flowers down or little trinkets. And you head towards the mausoleum, I assume?
Yep.
All right, so what are you up to there?
So I walk into the mausoleum and call out, Mr. Lumbristeau, is thou here?
You have the amulet on?
I do. And I do spirit fingers.
Okay. At the head of the coffin, this transparent figure rises up. Says, "Aha! Who are you?" And
Uh,
here it clear as day.
I say, I am Lug Riversong. I am a cleric here and a worshipper of Saradomin. I understand someone has taken your head and we're trying to get it back.
It does seem to be that way. A cleric. How very handy for me. How are we talking?
I hold up the pendant on the necklace that's around my neck and explain to him that it allows me to speak to the undead.
Very weird, but handy. I'm glad we can talk in something other than yes and no's. Yes, my skull appears to have been taken, and I haven't been able to go back to rest since.
When did your head get taken?
Well, time doesn't really make sense to me. I was adrift in the peacefulness of the astral sea. I have been there for many centuries, and I felt my essence pulled through a planar rift and found myself inside a coffin. Passing through the coffin, I realized it was my own resting place. I looked down at my body and my head was gone. I didn't know what happened. I could tell somebody had broken in upon looking at the door, but I did not see anyone or anything.
Do you know how many s- sunrises there were?
Let me see. And he kind of drifts back and forth. 4? I would say this is going to be the fifth evening. Yes, 5 days ago.
Okay. So 5 days ago, you were still in the astral plane.
Yes,
And when you woke up, no one was around you?
correct. I was in my coffin, head gone, and I don't know if it was my confusion or what, but I wasn't exactly running outside to see what's going on.
Fair enough. In the 5 days that you've been back on this plane, have you heard any conversations of who may have wanted your head or taken it?
No conversation. I see the town guard investigate around my building here. They seem to think who or it is hiding in the swamp. It's interesting though, when I sit and think and ponder and try to figure out what happened, I can almost see through the eyes of where my skull is for like brief moments in time. It's very weird, like almost as if I'm looking through my eye sockets again.
It's funny you bring that up because I was going to ask if you could see through your own eyes, and if you could, what exactly do you see in those brief flashes?
Well, I see pretty much just an empty room. There's an altar of some kind. I don't see any belief system on it. Occasionally, there's these blue robed people. They have these pointy hats. They come and visit the altar from time to time. Nobody messes with my perspective. They don't interact, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I see these flashes of this red and black robed individual, almost as if somebody's trying to also see what I see. Does that make sense?
Somewhat. So someone is trying to see through your eyes?
Yes, exactly. That's what seems. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. I'm very confused. It's strange. And I just believe if you can find that place and that skull and return it here, I can finally go back to a peaceful rest and reunite myself into the astral sea.
Other than colors, was there anything else on the robes of these individuals?
Unfortunately, no. It's brief. It's like flickers that I see, and it's just these blue robed individuals, and they got these blue pointy hats.
Is it possible to try to focus and get more than other a flicker?
I've tried. I'm really trying to figure out what happened and where my skull is. That's all I get, and it seems like every time I focus harder, that other connection interferes. That's usually when the flicker stops.
Okay. Would I know these colors? Like, would these colors be?
The blue robed and blue pointy hats, it most locally is the Wizard's Tower, just south of Draynor. But I mean, the red and black robe makes no sense to you. A lot of people wear robes, especially if they study Arcanum. But when he says all blue robes with a blue pointy hat, in your mind, the Wizard's Tower and the researchers there, that's what they wear.
Okay. I say, before I go to my group and present this information, is there anything else that you know or could provide me that would help us?
I got nothing. This place is incredible. When I died, it was just a single building and a couple of families settling here. I'm amazed at the world around me, and it seems to be more and more people showing up, so I'm trying to stay out of the way, but a lot of interesting things going on. The way they speak about the gods is amazing to me.
I say thank you, and I say one more question. Do you think we can trust Father Eric?
I don't know him at all. I mean, he's a man of faith. I don't see why not, but I can't speak to his character. I have no idea who he is. I've never talked to the man.
I say, okay, so you've never, in the 5 days you've been roaming around, never really noticed anything out of sorts with him?
Other than when I try to communicate with him, he turns and runs. No.
All right, fair enough. Well, have faith and trust that we'll get your head back. And
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
if at any time you are able to see through your eyes a little longer and find out more and we're in the area, let us know.
I will do my best. Yes, it's reassuring to know someone's looking into this, and I'll see what I can do to help. Meanwhile, back in the church, while this whole conversation is going on, what are you guys doing? Father Eric is behind the altar, reading through his holy book as you guys approach.
Yeah. Bundoc's just gonna come up to him and say, hello, Father. Sorry to interrupt. Just want to give you an update. We found your long lost ex-father Ernie in the swamp. Quite the little hut he's made out there.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
Yeah, he helped us get back here. I'm not exactly sure how we teleported back. I don't know how we did that exactly, but he's, as you say, kind of an interesting fellow. But he seemed quite harmless, and he kind of helped point us in a direction. He swore up and down he had no part in any of this, and we had no reason to not believe. He seemed, 100% truthful. He had mentioned something of a stranger coming to the town on the other side of the swamp, but he didn't want to get involved, and he wasn't sure who the person was, but he felt that was the best person to look at towards as to who would take the skull.
Interesting. Another person. How how is Ernie? Is he okay?
Yeah, he seemed
Seemed
okay.
all
We
right.
we 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 tried to get him to come with us, but he said he was too old to be traveling anymore. Assuming you get any spare time, and if you can maybe have a couple guards go with you, it, I think it would mean the world to him if you paid him a visit out there.
Yes, I have always regretted sending him away, but felt it was best for the church. He was never a harmful man. I worried about him. That's good. I'm glad you were able to get a lead then. Excellent. Where's Lug?
He went to go try to talk to the ghost. Father Ernie gave us some tips as to how we might be able to communicate with the ghost better based on his studies.
Oh boy. He's got Lug roped into this. Okay. All right. So what do you need from me?
I guess just curious if you've heard anything of any weird people coming to Draynor recently.
Or anybody else you might think could be involved.
Because I don't know who would take a skull other than like a wizard or a sorcerer or something.
Or Father Ernie, for that matter. He looked like he would. I feel you.
Is there a group of wizards or anything nearby that does weird stuff like that?
The nearest magic research center is the Wizard's Tower near Draynor Village, but they don't dabble in necromancy. They study the Arcanum and where magic comes from and what they can do to enhance it. That they don't dabble in the undead or
Would
necrotic
they?
things that I'm
Would,
aware of. Maybe they're dabbling in it, and I don't know why they'd be secretive though. It doesn't make sense.
We should
would
take a
they
visit.
possibly know someone who would be into that kind of stuff? Perhaps. Maybe they could give us more info.
Perhaps I don't know if they're even involved. Maybe it'd be worth checking. I have not heard anything personally here in Lumbridge, but I've been incredibly busy preparing for this week and the increase in people that will be arriving and using this church. Not a whole lot of sitting around asking questions, but
All
that's
right.
great. You have a lead. That's amazing.
One other question. What is there a faster way to Draynor or the Wizard's Tower other than the swamp?
I mean, there's the road through the pastures is the safest route. You could cut through the woods behind the castle here. That's the quickest route. And then there are teleports that can take you there, but nothing that I possess personally, and they're pretty uncommon.
So the woods is the fastest, you say?
Yes, the forest will be the fastest. A little dangerous, maybe not as dangerous as the swamp could be, but yeah, the safest would be the road. Either way, it'll be half day to a day.
Unless we can find a teleport.
Which you guys all know you have a teleport there, by the way.
All right. Well, we
Alright.
just wanted to let you know on our progress. We're
See
gonna.
if you can give us a little more info, maybe.
Yep,
Yeah, thanks for checking in. I'll report to the Duke that you guys have a lead. That's amazing. Awesome.
All right. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you for stopping in. Good luck.
Thank
I
you.
wait until everybody else walks out, and I kind of stray back to the father's direction. Father, a question, if you
Oh,
would.
yeah, yes.
So we recently visited Father Ernie, obviously, and he gifted me and my brother a pair of books. And I just wanted to know if you knew anything about them or the man who wrote them.
Um, sure. Let me take a look. What do you got?
I show him the God Wars of the Third Age, and I just point out that it was written by Jarrell the historian. Just wondering if you know anything further about this.
Oh, yeah. Jorel the historian. He one of the famed historians of Ardoin, the capital city of Kandarin, studying the gods and relics and the deities themselves and the events that took place through the ages. Very prominent. You said Ernie had these volumes?
Many of them. He gave me a third volume, my brother a seventh. So there are at least 7 of these.
Interesting. No, that's a very uncommon journal to hold. This one here speaks of, yes, the God Wars of the Third Age. Impressive time. Definitely left their mark on the realm. Sarah Doman, praise be to him, was involved. What uh, is there? Have you read this yet? Do you have questions?
Just we just received it. I just before I started reading it, I wanted to know if he was a man of respect and renown, but it sounds like he is.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. One of the most famous historians. There are several across the realm. Still lives, from what I understand. Very knowledgeable person.
Of or Doing, you said?
Ardoin, yes.
I just want to walk back. Be like, hey, come on, let's go.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You've been very helpful, Father. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good luck. All right. Lug, you meet up with them. You see Yoshi kind of leaning on the wall, kind of keeping his eye out for things. Yoshi, nothing cryptic, nothing suspicious. People coming and going, in and out of the shop right in front of you. But yeah, no, you're not being watched or followed.
I'm just kind of leering on the side of. I guess I'd tell the group as they come at me, I'd be like, just err on the side of caution. I don't know who maybe was watching Father Ernie and knows where we went. Watch your backs.
You think there's more to it than just the head being gone? Someone's watching out.
I could be overthinking it. I'm just saying this big thing's happening. I think it's gonna be revolved around this big thing going in Lumbridge.
I share with the group that the ghost didn't know shit. He basically came from the astral plane. He could surmise it was been about 5 days, but when he awoke out of his coffin, there was no one there. Just could tell that his head was gone and that it was broken into, the mausoleum. He does get glimpses of blue-robed people wearing pointy hats. However, he can't focus enough to see all this. He doesn't know who they are. He also gets a flash of a black and red robed figure. The only people I can think of who dress like this is wizards. So I don't know if that's our next stop or.
And when I hear that, I'm gonna say wizards, as in like the wizard tower near Draynor.
I shoot him a look like, how the hell does he know that? And then I nod my head.
I say, Father Eric, I told him about Father Ernie and that he's, an odd fellow but harmless and had no part in this. I mentioned that he heard of a stranger coming to Draynor that he thought would be behind it, wearing robes, and we asked Father Eric if he knew of anyone in Draynor, if he had heard of anybody that came to Draynor recently, or anyone that would be interested in doing something with a skull. He said the only people that do magic near there is the wizard's tower, but he said they don't, to his knowledge, they don't do anything with necromancy.
Yep, we should go. We should go today, right now, ideally. Or
Through a
I don't
teleporter
care.
of some sort.
Oh,
Are you in a hurry,
I say,
I just think that there's probably good stuff there that we should look into. This seems promising.
Yeah. Seems like a cool place to go.
Yes.
your guys' feet don't hurt, do they?
That's what the
No.
teleporter's for.
Who just has a teleporter?
We have
We
a
do.
necklace of passage, but it only has 2 charges.
Yeah. I mean, how far would it be to walk? I mean, I'd prefer to be there immediately, but
Well, you heard Father Eric said if we go through the woods, it'd be a half day.
But I need that instant gratification.
yeah, I would prefer having that.
I look at Fubar and I say, don't you guys need permission from your boss?
We're doing this is like basically our
Uh,
job.
Our job is to basically help you do it all. Get
Yeah.
this fixed for Father Eric.
Yes, that's right. So no, we don't need permission.
I leave it up to Lug. He's the one that has this necklace or whatever.
Well, I think the group. What does the group want to do?
I'm sorry, guys. Are we going to Draynor or are we going to the tower? I wasn't sure. Where do you guys think we should go next?
I think the tower.
Specifically.
Yeah,
Okay.
just south
Yeah.
of Draynor, right?
Yes, the necklace of passage will take you to the causeway that leads to the tower.
That sounds
And-
great.
To be clear, DM, the Wizard Tower is the same thing as this Wizard Research Center where all this arcana and,
Correct. This is a
Okay.
very famous wizard tower, probably the most famous in Mistlin. The king of Varrock is very involved with keeping a open line of communication with this place. So you've definitely heard of it. It is very well known to be a research tower. It has a very long history through the ages.
What I know if just anybody could walk into something like that.
As far as you know, there needs to be reasons to enter, and it's pretty well sectioned off. So there's a place for the average person to study and whatnot, but it is a tall tower with many levels, and special permissions are usually needed for specific things.
I'll relay this information along the way,
Okay.
unless we
I-
teleport.
I asked because I
Could be
wanted
there.
to confirm that we're skipping over the suggestion that Father Ernie gave us, which is to go into Draynor first and talk to his friend about
Find-
the
to go
stranger. Like
find
our
Morgan.
Are we yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we were prepared to skip over that part and go right to the tower ourselves. That's why I was asking.
Yep, that's fair.
That's a good point.
Because Morgan was the one that the stranger had asked about Father Ernie. So
And
I'm trying to
then-
think what would be the point of confirming something with Morgan.
What the
Didn't
stranger looks
maybe-
like.
Didn't
Yeah.
Fesher say that he could see pointy hats and robes?
Yep.
I
And
saw
then-
someone with a red and black robe.
Okay.
If Morgan can
Could be
pinpoint-
Morgan.
Well, no, but I think it's whoever took the skull. But Morgan might know a name, or might be able. Yeah, he had black and red robes.
Or he could tell us about the tower before we just go barreling in there. That's a good point.
If someone is from the tower is doing necromancy, I would imagine they're not doing it like in broad daylight at the tower. They're probably they could be from there or could be something like that. So there is an opportunity to get more information before going in, but I'm fine to follow the group. I just wanted to make sure.
I like the Morgan idea now.
Let's put it to a vote. So let's just go in order. Yoshi,
Morgan.
Lug.
I also think it makes sense now to see Morgan first.
Okay, Bundock.
Same.
All right. And Foz.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Draynor Village first.
So, Lug, are you transporting us there?
How far of a walk is Draynor? Well,
It's past the big frogs.
So
How many? How
Um,
do you recharge that necklace or whatever?
we can only go to the Desert Mine, the Wizard Tower Causeway, or the Addresser Outpost.
So
Well-
the layout is you guys can walk straight behind the castle, and it will take you directly to Draynor Village. If you veer a little south, it's like a 20-minute walk from Draynor Village to this causeway, and you walk across this large causeway over the sea, and it meets the Wizard's Tower, which is on this island. So it's the same area basically. So if you were to go to the causeway, you could walk to Draynor Village, or you could walk across the causeway and go to the tower. You'd be like 50-50 with the teleport. Or you can just walk through the woods and you'd get there about midnight this evening.
That's dark.
I say we walk just because maybe we may need to use the teleporter in an emergency situation.
True.
And
I agree.
I hate to say it, but I agree.
All right. Well, I got night vision, so I'm good with walking.
I give Foz the finger for that comment.
Actually, Corey said it out of character, so.
Fair enough. I still give
Okay.
Corey the finger for that comment.
Okay, fine. Shit.
Alrighty. So it is decided you guys will go behind the castle and make your way west to Draynor Village through the woods. Now, this is a more established path than through the swamp. Lug and Yoshi, you've played in these forests for many years growing up. You know there's woodland creatures. Probably the most dangerous thing as far as wildlife would be giant spiders that live there. They're rare, but they potentially are looking for stragglers. There's the odd goblin that is foraging in this forest that make their way past the pastures of the farms. But the most dangerous thing in these woods are thieves, bandits, anybody that can be ambushed. you know that's something to look out for at night. So you two would know this.
So, like, what you're
Upon-
saying is don't travel at night?
It's dangerous too. It's
Yeah.
possible. There's an established path. You're not going to get lost, but it's whether you trust the strength in numbers or you might not run into anybody with the increased population. You never know. It's just something that you're aware of.
I relay this to the group. I go, when it gets darker on this main path, it gets more dangerous. Are we willing to risk that?
Lug says yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, we've shown we can hold our own.
I had confidence.
we-
I just wanted to ask.
If we get there at midnight, though, don't we have to wait till morning to do anything? Anyway.
True.
Solana, you bring this up. Your caravan, you and Bundock, you both stayed in Draynor Village. The locals were very weirded out about the sun going down, and they wanted it wasn't quite a curfew, but they urged people to be indoors when the sun's down. You were more worried about just resting and traveling the next day to really get into why people are so weirded out. But you both stayed there. It was comfortable. But people are weird at nighttime there. Just to give you that. You guys would know that, so I want to give you that information.
But would they mess with us with the numbers?
Well, or we could find out why they're so weird about nighttime.
You
We're
didn't
going
think
see
to do that when you
Morgan.
were there?
Well, no, I wasn't really trying to figure it out. I was just passing through.
Well, once we find Morgan, we'll figure it out.
That works for me. I'm ready.
Shall we?
Okay. Father Ernie did also tell you guys that Morgan is afraid of the dark. But he's a nice person, a very nice person. All right. So you guys begin to head out to the back gate of the castle grounds and enter into the woods. You see a very well-worn path trekking through the forest. You know, if you follow it straight west, you'll run right into Draynor Village. I need somebody to roll a d20 for me.
I'll do it. A 13.
13. Let me see.
We see nothing. All is clear.
Yes.
Can everyone see okay with how dark it is and everything? Does anyone need
It's not
anything?
nighttime yet. It is evening. It's like not even quite dusk yet. So you guys have
Okay.
travel time so far. But yeah, to answer the question later, you guys can go ahead and discuss who can see in the dark or what you'll need for a light source.
I have Bundock will lead the way. I have dark vision.
I think
And
I need to hold someone's hand.
I have light, so
there you go.
you touch one large or smaller object that isn't being worn or carried by someone else until the spell ends. That object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius.
it would also make us a walking target, though.
Not if I touch a rock and then throw it, and then keep picking it up and throwing it.
Sounds tedious.
Does that actually?
this-
No, I don't even think that.
Does this
That's-
turn
that
into a
doesn't work.
2-day trip now, or
How does that keep people from noticing us? I think that'd make us way more noticeable.
You go
Yeah, I
for it?
want to hear Jake's response to this.
Yeah.
Because they would just be attracted to the light, not the person
That's
throwing
yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah, that is the quality of response I expected. All right, proceed.
maybe
I was
they'll think it's a
picturing you-
ghost?
You picking the heaviest rock you can find, and when you throw it, it takes like all of your effort, and it goes like 1 foot in front of us.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move you guys over to this map just so you can see the layout. Let me pause.
Oh, that's a jam. It's a banger. Is this a battle
So
court?
you go out the back door here, and it's straight west through these trees until you hit that brown path, and that leads straight to Draynor. Just to give you
Okay.
guys a visual. A visual.
Thanks.
Okay, so you begin making your way through the forest. There's plenty of light, and you're passing people coming from Draynor to Lumbridge. Nothing odd. You see birds hopping from tree to tree, the occasional bee flying along the path. Nothing out of the ordinary. You do hear a knocking on a tree, like a tap, 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 and then it stops, and then a tap, 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 and then it stops.
Being a part of the woods, like, would I know it from an animal, or like is somebody trying to like signal to the next person?
This you know these woods very well. You hear this all the time. It sounds like a woodpecker.
Oh, okay. I go, those are just
It's
woodpeckers.
maybe a couple of 10, 20 feet ahead and into the forest off the path a little bit.
I'm just gonna keep.
I'm gonna go check it out.
I'm gonna keep trudging on the path.
Yoshi, you leave the path for a moment. There's plenty of light. You guys can all see. You see Yoshi kind of move off into the woods towards this direction. He doesn't say anything. He just goes.
I'll follow Yoshi.
I'm gonna check this out.
I say go ahead, and I kind of stand a few feet back, but I'm just kind of watching to make sure he's fine.
Okay, you make it about 10 more feet, and you hear this like unnatural fluttering. And then it stops, and you hear this tap, 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 tap. But now you hear like a metal ting to the taps now that you're closer. It's mostly wood, but you hear this like metal ting, 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 ting at the end of it.
What?
I'm gonna take my quarterstaff off my back so
What
it's
the fuck?
ready.
Can I get closer
Yeah, you push your way through
slowly?
the taller grass, and you're heading towards this tap, and you hear the fluttering, and you can definitely tell it's wings fluttering. And then it stops, and you hear the tap, 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 and that little ting, ting, ting at the end of it.
Can I sneak up closer? I gotta get there. I'm already committed.
Or you get to the base of this large oak tree, and you're looking up, and you see a bird, pretty decent sized woodpecker, and it's perched on the tree, and you see it try to take off, and something catches it, and it flutters and falls and hits against the trunk, regains itself, and then it pecks towards its leg into the tree. And you hear the ting, 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 ting.
It's pecking at its
As-
leg, making that noise?
Something near its leg, yeah.
On the tree.
Oh, I run up to
Correct.
that, make sure it's okay.
So you get to the base of the tree, and you look up. It's like 15 feet in the air. And make a perception check.
All right. 21.
Did we not?
You can see a very small chain has been riveted to the tree, and it is tied around the ankle of this woodpecker.
I go, Solana, come here.
I go up, and we're looking up, right, into the tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you see it too. You see this bird try to launch, and it like gets caught, like jerked, and it slams against the tree, and it flutters as it tries to right itself, and then it's pecking at this spot on this tree, and you hear this little faint metal tink at the end of its pecks.
Somebody freaking trapped him up there. I gotta get up there and help him. Can you lift me up a little?
Yes, but first, can I look around and kind of just make sure there's nothing watching us around the tree?
Yeah, make a perception check.
11.
You can see that the base of this tree is kind of matted down, the grass around it, and you see that there are little chunks in the tree as if somebody had climbed it, but you don't see
Uh-oh.
anything around watching you or anything like that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I'll try to lift Yoshi up into the tree as much as I can.
I put my arms up like I'm a little kid.
Yeah, you kind of give them a boost, but even with that, you guys make it about 10 feet maybe. Can't quite reach
Can I stick
this
my
creature.
my
And it really
dagger?
flutters. It's trying to like stay away from you, and it's like at the end of its chain higher, trying to like stay away.
Can I cast animal friendship on him?
You sure can.
DC 10. Wisdom save. Okay, whatever.
Too much in a panic as its will to survive overrides your connection.
Stop moving, you damn bird! I'm gonna try to climb up this. I gotta get to him.
All right, make an athletics check.
Oh yeah. 11.
Okay, yeah, you're part of the woods. You're used to climbing trees. That's easy enough to do. You use some of the branches nearby and kind of dig your feet in and scoot your way up the trunk of this tree. And you get to the point where it's riveted into the tree, and you notice it's like a foot lead is all, foot long chain, and it's turning from flight into fight mode, and it's kind of like it tries to get away from you and it flutters down and it starts to try to peck you as you're reaching for it.
I'm just gonna keep reaching for it and take it.
All right, it misses its first attack as it tries to peck you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to like nestle him, like grab him and nestle him under my arms and hold him.
Okay, make a strength check at disadvantage as you only have one hand to do this.
Oh, I'm still climbing up.
Right,
Yeah, you're hanging
Oh,
onto the
okay.
tree.
I thought
Yoshi, you're out of my reach now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But is he on a branch or whatever it is?
No, he's like riveted to the center of the
The tree.
trunk of the tree. There's no branches nearby. When it does land, it like perches on the side of the tree.
Is there any thicker trees?
Not too close around
Okay.
you, no.
Well, I'm still gonna try to grab him. Disadvantage. Here we go. That's a 5.
A 5. Yeah, grabbing the bird itself, it's too slippery. It's too panicked. You can't quite get a grasp on it, but it is at the end of this chain.
Can I like try to rip it out of the wood? The chain? I'm not strong.
Yeah, you look and you can see it's a simple rivet that's just been like hammered into the tree here, and um, it doesn't look like it's too deep. Birds aren't very strong or they don't weigh a lot, so go ahead and do another just regular strength check to try to pull this thing out.
13.
13 does it. You grab a hold of the chain near the rivet and you yank, and it pulls free, and you see it's like just a couple inch long rivet is all. But you see all these peck marks all the way around it as the woodpecker was trying to free itself by pecking out the rivet. But you now have this
I'm holding on to the
bird.
chain. I'm pulling him to me.
Yeah, he's like trying to stay away from you, a foot away. He tries to attack you again, misses. What do you do?
I'm like, I put him under my arm and I start going down.
All right, it's easy
Wait,
enough to
why
do
didn't-
now that you have him on a leash, basically. Right, so you reel in this bird and you shuffle back down. Solana, you help him when he gets in range, and you're back on the forest floor, and you have this pretty sizable woodpecker trying to get away from you. It looks even bigger in a gnome's arms.
I'm just holding on to him, petting him when I get down.
Okay, so you're trying to calm it down. All right.
Can I look and see what the around its ankle what the chain, like if we can get it off?
Yeah, you see it's like a large, like a necklace loop would be. It's got that little like lever, and it looks like
Mhm.
somebody just looped it around this foot and it clasped. Mm, It'd be a simple release to get it off.
Okay, I'd like to try to if and I say to Yoshi, like, just try to hold
I'm
him still for a second,
Right.
and I like go in there and try to undo it.
All right, and you do. It's simple enough.
Oh.
He's got this thing held. He's trying to calm it down. It's kind of panicked. It's not sure what's going on, and you're able to undo that lever and take the chain off its foot. It initially it tries to like lunge as soon as it feels itself freed. Do you hang on to it?
Yeah.
It's very exhausted and tired. Doesn't have much strength left. What do you do?
I go, I'll nurse you back to health, and I carry it with me. I'm taking it with me.
Okay. All right. So you got this like kind of struggling
I'm
bird
ter-
under your arm. You're kind of like shielding from its beak, and you come walking out of the woods with Solana. You're all disheveled, and the four of you see this gnome walking out. Glasses are all fogged up, holding this pretty sizable woodpecker.
Hey, y'all.
Why do you have a bird?
Somebody chained him up there. I can't just leave him.
Oddly enough, this isn't the weirdest thing that's happened today. So I'm just gonna accept it. Like, all right.
I mean, yeah. Why would someone chain a woodpecker to a tree?
I looked around the base of the tree and I could see that someone had been there, but I couldn't find anything. We can go back and look if you want, but I looked and I couldn't find anything that would tell us who had been there.
I mean, it's just weird. I've never heard of someone chaining a bird to a tree, let alone a woodpecker. But
Did you name it?
I'm thinking Walter. If he stays.
I can try to talk to it and ask
Oh.
him what he needs, but he's a bird, so I don't know how much he can tell us.
Woodpeckers are pretty smart.
well, if you guys want to talk to the bird, I'm gonna keep trudging along here.
I remember that.
I kind of want to slow up from behind Bond so I can just sit there and listen to them talk to this bird while we're walking at the same time.
I'm staying in the back with Solana, and we're gonna talk to this bird if she
Yeah.
wants
Yeah,
to. I'm not gonna force her.
I want to
I
be
just-
talking to it.
We're gonna use one of my spells to do it, so we're all in agreement. We're gonna do that.
It's up to you.
Okay.
It's your spell.
Hell yeah.
It's your bird. Well, it's not. We're about to find out
It's
if
our
he
And it's
bird.
my
consents.
entertainment.
consents to being your bird. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
What do you feel this whole time?
Okay.
I personally don't
come.
like birds because my character had almost got clawed up, carried away by a bird when I was young.
Oh shit.
That's
I remember
canon.
that. I remember
Yes,
that.
yeah, you can.
I've seen if you're freaking out because you're afraid of the bird.
She goes, oh
Yeah, I'll
shit.
keep-
And he goes, oh yeah, I knew that.
Maintaining a comfortable distance.
See, we worked on your fear a little bit, not a whole lot though.
Okay. So these simple creatures have very base intelligence. They act on instinct.
Yeah.
Woodpeckers are a little more cunning, not quite as smart as other birds of like birds of prey or ravens or things like that. But at a base level, you'd be able to communicate with this creature.
Better sound like Iago.
Okay, first thing. The
It's not a parrot.
It'd
not
be
a parrot.
awesome. It'd be so great.
It's
Go
not a
for
parrot.
Godfrey.
Is the name of the episode. It's not a parrot.
It's not a parrot.
Perfect.
First I'll say, like, we mean you no harm. Is there anything you need? Are you injured?
Let me go. Let me go.
I shake my head. Nope.
It's not a Yago.
Yoshi wants to go. Wait, can I talk to both of them at the same time? Probably not.
Yeah, you can like alternate between bird speak and common.
Sick. Okay, so I say Yoshi, it wants to go, and then I go back to the bird and say, "You don't want to hang out with us for a while. You want to go?
What do you want? What do you want?
Who chained you up? I want to know who hurt you.
Batman. Batman.
Bad man." As I say to Yoshi, it says bad man, but that's it.
Oh. Say, well, we
Does he-
want you to be. We're good, I guess. I don't know.
I'll go back to the bird and I say, "Are there other birds chained up in this forest?"
I don't know. Very hungry.
Hungry. That makes sense. Yoshi doesn't know he's hungry. What else do you want me to ask him?
What? He's hungry?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any good berries?
You all do have loaves of bread as well.
Oh, yeah. We do have
Yeah,
loads.
we
I
can
give
do
him
that.
some bread if he's hungry.
And to
Okay.
the bird, I as he's giving me bread, I say, good man," instead of the bad man.
Bread. Yes. And he starts like pecking at your bread. He's not straining against you anymore. He's allowing you to hold him. Make an animal handling check.
This is like stupid as hell. 6.
A 6. Okay. Not really sure what you're doing with a creature like this. You're holding out your hand and it's pecking and it kind of hurts your hand. You're like, ah. And you kind of drop the bread and pick it back up and it pecks. It keeps kind of doing this over and over again. It hurts, but you're persistent with trying to feed it. And yeah, this kind of continues on as you're walking, but it's content with you holding it at this point. It's not straining to get away.
As he keeps hitting my hand, I go, yep, we're both learning, Walter. We're both learning.
To the bird, I ask, what does the bad man look like?
Bald, hairy,
Wait, what?
hairy neck, hairy neck, bald, hairy.
Bald and hairy?
That's all you get from him.
I
Okay.
look at Solana. I said, ask him if he wants to stay. He goes, if he stays with us, I'll let him sit on my shoulders.
To the bird, I
Or if he
say,
doesn't want to stay, he can fly away.
okay. I say, Yoshi with the bread is going to put you on his shoulder and you can choose whether to stay with us or to fly away.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Yoshi.
I put him on my shoulder with a little more bread in my hand.
Instantly flies off up
That's
into the
her?
tree.
Yes.
Be gone.
I go, be
Solana
good.
is thrilled.
Be good, Walter.
She says bye.
You guys continue walking, and Yoshi, how do you feel?
How, like, what do you mean?
Like, are you sad that the bird left, or
I'm sad, but, like, deep down, I feel like he could come back.
okay?
I felt we made a mark on him.
All right, you guys see that Yoshi's kind of down in the dumps. He's glad he helped out, but he's kind of walking with his head down now. You guys continue through the woods, and it's beginning to get a little darker. Solana, with your passive perception and you hanging back, you're kind of keeping your wits about you. You know it can get dangerous. You're kind of watching the party's rear, and you see this fluttering from tree to tree, following behind you. You just make note of it. Do you say anything or?
I guess there's no way for me to know if it is Walter from here, but I'm gonna just trust that it is and kind of just like smile to myself and keep walking.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell anybody.
It's dark, and you guys are seeing people hauling things from the woods, like brush, firewood, things like that, as the sun is setting, and people are quick in pace, heading in the same direction you are. You see a couple of torches begin to get lit. You can tell you're approaching Draynor Village.
Are we like straight to Draynor? Like we can,
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
a
in it, but
very
we can see it.
well-worn footpath. Yep. You
Yeah,
can
I'm gonna.
kind of see lights on up in windows in buildings off in the distance, maybe 150 yards away.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trudging along, especially if I'm seeing other people and looks like we're getting close.
Okay.
If it gets dark, if it's too dark, if Solana's next to me, like, you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
I grab your hand because I can't see in the dark.
Got it. Yep.
Okay. Continue making your way into Draynor Village. You arrive. It is fairly dark. And none of these would be here, I guess. So let me move those. And you notice there's several buildings. Most of the doors to all these places are closed. The little market area you notice up ahead is pretty much deserted. Not a lot of people out and about right now. Those that are heading for buildings.
Would it be? I know Father Ernie mentioned. He said he didn't know exactly where Morgan lived, but he had a general idea, right?
It said the house on Main Street is what I have written down.
I guess I would just go for I guess if I can recall where Main Street is, I'm gonna head there and just look for the nearest tavern and head in there.
Having been here before, you know there is no tavern. This is a very simple village.
What?
It is a market town. It is a finance exchange town, and not very big. It is a fairly small village made up of farmers and woodland people.
Well, the Main Street is well labeled and well enough, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, where on the map is that? Is it here or is
So it would be the one behind you that runs
okay?
north and south.
Well, I would go on Main Street and just go on this first door and knock.
Okay. You knock and hello.
Sorry to bother this late at night. I'm looking for Morgan. I was sent here by Father Ernie.
Morgan. Sure. Yes, next house on the left. You should be home.
Thank you so much.
You need to get off the streets.
Will do.
And you hear shuffling inside as he moves away from the door.
So next house on the left being this one back here.
Yep. The one with the staircase
Before
there.
we get to that house, can I who's standing next to each other?
I'm following Bundock.
Okay. And Fozzie, are you near your brother?
Nope, I'm standing next to you.
Okay. So I look at Fozzie and I say, how can you be both bald and hairy at the same time?
Oh, yeah. Is this like a brain teaser or something?
Yeah.
Is there
I
a
think so.
punchline?
That's what I'm asking you.
Genuinely, or is there just like a knock knock joke?
Whichever. No, I'm genuinely asking you.
I don't know. Maybe like big, like barrel chested dude with a bunch of hair. You know, they can be bald, but why do you ask?
We both slowly look at Lug, who is bald, right? Lug?
Yeah.
I'm literally laughing because I'm standing there as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
Lug looks pretty
Solana,
hairy. He's got a big
yeah.
beard.
Okay.
Solana just goes, and then walks away.
Suspect number one.
So do I understand the context of all
No.
of that? Okay, just
No.
making sure that I didn't. I didn't know how I was supposed to play that.
You are incredibly confused as Fazora right now.
I'm
I'm
because I know.
I'm still gonna do what she did. I'm gonna go, huh, and I'm gonna go over there too.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, same thing. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Yes?
Is this Morgan's house?
Who's asking?
My name's Bundock. I was sent here by Father Ernie.
Father Ernie. Oh, sure. And he like cracks open the door and he peers out and he goes, What can I help you with?
I have some friends here with me. We just wanted to ask you some questions, if you don't mind, about a stranger that came to town like 5 days ago.
I go, can you please let us in? We're not supposed to be out here, we heard.
Yeah, no, you definitely shouldn't be on the streets right now. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. And he opens the door all the way and oh, there's several of you. Okay, yeah, come on in. I don't normally host. And he's like big-eyed and pale and looking at you all very not quite frightened but confused and very questioning whether he should have opened the door all the way to all of you or not.
Push my way in.
Okay. Yeah, make yourselves at home. Sorry, my place isn't very big. I don't have much for you. I was just making some popcorn, and you guys see this kettle on his little stove just filling with popcorn. You hear the popping going on. It smells delicious. I have some, maybe not enough for all of you, but help yourselves, I suppose. What can I do for you?
Well, first question: why does nobody like to be out at night here?
Oh, where are you all from? Are you from around here?
Two of them are. Lug
Oh.
and Yoshi are from Lumbridge.
Okay, so I'm gonna sound ridiculous. Everybody always makes fun of me. There's vampires at night, okay? There's vampires, and you need to get off the streets because you'll get taken.
Oh shit.
And Yoshi and Lug, you've heard of this, but in Lumbridge, it's kind of like a joke among the guard that they're gonna get taken by vampires. So you both kind of like roll your eyes when you hear this.
Yeah, Bundock, I guess we kind of try. Oh, vampires! Like those are real?
Yep.
Like, I don't mean you any insult. It's a genuine question.
Of course they're real, and it comes to this village, and it tries to feed on us, so we all stay inside.
Sounds like ghost stories that Lug's dad used to tell us before he went to bed, and I just chuckle.
Those were real stories, dude.
Listen, if you're just gonna make fun of me, you don't have to stay here. Go out there in the streets. Go ahead, sleep on the road. See what happens.
Can I say, I vow to suck your blood.
Okay.
Hey, let's not be rude to our. He welcomed us into his house, and we're trying to get information. Let's not be dicks here.
Thank you. And he kind of gives this like sideways glare at the two of them. What? Why are you looking for me? What can I help you with? You said a figure, Father Ernie. What's going on?
Yes. So, in Lumbridge, there was a skull was taken from a grave, and now there's a ghost that's walking around at night in the graveyard looking for its head. And Father Ernie said there was some strange robed figure that was looking for him. Like you had told him that someone had came to Draynor Village looking for Father Ernie, but he didn't want to get any more involved than that. So we come to ask you if you know anything about this person,
And
who or what they are or where they are.
he fires in Lug and Yoshi's direction. He goes, "Now you have the ghost story." So what happened was I was in the market just getting some seeds to plant my tomatoes. And this figure dressed in black and red bumped into me and asked if I knew anything about the history of Lumbridge. And I don't. I've been part of this village my whole life. I forage in the woods. I don't know anything about it. So he asked if there's anybody who could inform him of the histories of the surrounding town. And I said, oh, probably Father Ernie. He's very old. He's seen a lot. And I just kind of offered that information to him.
Did you tell him where he lived?
No, we kind of all suspect outsiders. And he kind of looks at the group of you and he goes, we don't share personal information among each other. So I said I would pass it on to Ernie that this figure was looking for him. And if he felt it was okay to meet up, he would come back to the village and meet with him. It's kind of how we look after each other.
What this figure? Did he give you a name or tell you where he would be hanging out for Father Ernie to find him?
No, it actually sounded like he was using unnatural voice with me, like he was trying to cover his voice up. Weird. Just a weird figure. He was covered from head to toe, gloves, everything. Couldn't see his body, skin, nothing, in this red and black robe. And he wore a hood and a hat, and it looked like he had like a black mask over his eyes, like a highwayman mask, or like you guys picture like the mask of Zorro, how it just goes over the eyes like that.
Oh, okay.
He goes, everything was just blackened right out, and he did everything he could to not allow me to look into his eyes or see his eyes. He just kind of looked away and talked out the side of his mouth towards me. It was very, very strange. That's why I wouldn't give up more details for Ernie, and I would talk to Ernie first. But yeah, he was weird, very weird, and very interested in history, especially of Lumbridge.
Did he say where he was from?
I didn't ask questions, to be honest. I wanted to get the hell away from him. He was very strange. I was just there for my tomatoes. He thanked me and he moved on.
Okay. One other question for you. This vampire of your, do you know if it is it just one or are there more? And if so, do you know where they come from?
As far as I know, it's just the one. uh, Rumor says that it's from the Draynor Manor up the road to the north there, that creepy old place. But yeah, I don't know much about that. We just were raised and told to stay inside, and when enough people disappear, you start believing it.
All right. I'm gonna look at the group and say, you guys want to call it a night, or you guys feel like
I go, are you, Morgan? I go, since you say you have everybody's back, are you giving us half-ass information to get rid of us?
No, I'm just answering your questions. Is, are you after something? Why are you so interested in this individual? Did something happen? I mean, the ghost and the, is this all tied together?
Yes.
that's what we're trying to figure out. We are under the assumption that this black robe figure took the skull. To what end? We don't know.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, I don't have much help for you. That's literally all I know. I keep to myself.
How many days ago was this for you?
About 6 days, 7 days ago, about a week ago.
And you haven't seen the figure again.
No, not personally. No, there was rumor for the day among the villagers about this weird person asking questions. A lot of the same, Is there anybody that could tell them things about Lumbridge? But nothing beyond that. And then the next day, gone.
While they're talking, can I look around the room? Is there anything that would indicate or point us in the right direction?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Are you like searching his house? Or are you just standing on the bottom floor? Are you just looking what's around you?
Yeah, I'm like searching the house while he's talking.
Okay.
I guess I would also ask
Ooh.
Morgan, if there's what information you could give us on the Wizard's Tower.
I rolled a 17.
So you're looking around and you see like this fresh potting soil sitting out on a shelf. You as you walk by the steps and you're kind of glancing around, you catch a whiff of garlic coming from what seems like upstairs, but you don't notice anything other than just a simple man living by himself in this house. That's about it for his home, other than the popcorn on the stove. And with the Wizard's Tower, he says, "What do you want to know about them? They're phenomenal researchers. Are you interested in the magic there, or?"
I steal some popcorn while they're talking also.
Okay.
Our other information leads us to believe that maybe somebody there is involved, like that robed figure may have ended up at the Wizard's Tower.
Interesting. Maybe just south of town. I mean, you could go stop in there. Maybe in the morning first thing. I don't have much information on that. I've never been there myself, but we do see the wizards come to town occasionally for supplies or currency exchange, and I mean they have magical means of getting around. So,
They have pointy hats.
oh yeah, big blue ones.
All right, and I'm going to say, I thank you very much for your help and for letting us in your home. I'm going to look at the group and say, you guys, are we going to try to stay here, or do you guys want to go try to find a vampire?
Don't go outside. Stay here. Just stay here till the morning. And you see like real concern in his eyes.
Morgan, do you know anything about necromancy?
Necromancy. No,
Necromancy.
that is dark stuff. No, I don't know anything about necromancy.
Good. And I close my eyes.
Okay. Yeah, stay here. Find room. I don't have much. I'm sorry, but at daybreak, feel free to do whatever you want. Please don't take anything of mine.
I like pop one eye open and look at the twins.
What?
You know.
I just have a vase of his in my hands, just looking at it.
I'm gonna give Morgan 2 gold and tell thank you for your help and for letting us stay here.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that. You don't have to. Really, it's okay. I'd prefer you don't die out there. But thanks. All right. Feel free to stay as long as you need to. Is there anything else you need from me?
I think he answered all the questions. Again, thank you again for helping us out.
And he says, if you're looking into this kind of stuff, I don't know what you're up to, but it sounds like you dwarf, you're kind of interested in this vampire problem. If you want to look into it further, there's a man. He's in Varrock, Dr. Harlow.
Dr. Harlow.
Don't know where he is, don't know where he hangs out, but as far as I know, he's the last one to have helped us. And if you're interested in looking into it for us, I would appreciate it. But it sounds like you have a lot going on, so I just wanted to drop that if you wanted to help.
Solana looks at Bundock and says it's that there would be vampires harming people here, but not at Lumbridge, which is so close by.
Right. Well, he mentioned a manor, though.
I think we have to go. We have to know what it is, because I vote we go. and look at it.
You want to go
My
look at it
curio-
right now?
My curiosity is too high. I can't not do it. And I don't sleep, so.
Don't threaten Bundock with a good time.
I'm in.
Like we're going right
Okay.
now.
Well, it's night,
Huh?
right? While we're already here, and unless you'd rather sleep.
No. If everybody's going, I'll go.
Okay. Next time, we will head north towards the Draynor Manor in search of this vampire story.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll leave it for tonight. Thank you for listening to 99 D&D. I hope you're enjoying the story so far. If you did enjoy, please like the video, comment your favorite part or character, and subscribe to see the next video on where our adventures are headed. Also, look for us on x.com at 99dndingpod or on Instagram at 99dnd. Join us next time as we continue the grind.